Where do I find you? Where are you?
This is the studio, the New York studio.
Nice. So this is the New
Or
York, the new studio for Beats in Space.
that's right, that's right. So this is our new you know setup.
Awesome, awesome. I'm already very much looking forward to combine this studio. I think I've been
Yes,
2 times in the old one. It was always such an amazing experience there.
yeah, no, definitely you'll have to come by. Uh, I mean, I'm still getting used to this one, and there's three studios here, so I'm still kind of like testing out each one and like checking out sound and just uh trying to find get comfortable. So but it's the first days, so it's okay.
Is still the plan that all the people coming by, like in the best case, coming by and do this live with you in the studio?
Exactly, yeah, that um you know say the first radio show, Planning to Rock, um they sent they sent that mix in, so that wasn't live in the studio. We just did a FaceTime interview, was the only thing I did from the studio here. But um my plan is definitely, I want um the guests in the studio with me where it's possible. It's like, so this upcoming Monday with Anthony Naples, he came in to the studio. So um it's just kind of where it works out that we can do it. I prefer, it's a different atmosphere when you're there together. And but obviously, like, in this day and age, everyone has to be prepared to not be in the same room together. So like, I'm okay with that, and I'm kind of, yeah, I guess I'm less, before I was pretty adamant with the radio show about the guests being in with me, and now it's kind of like, well, I understand if you can't be, and but one of the big things that why I'm excited about this, though, is that Apple has studios all around the world, so it gives me the chance, if I'm in Berlin on a gig, I could stay longer and record artists using the Apple Music studio in Berlin, or in Paris, or in London, or in Tokyo. So that's really fun, and that, I think, that opens up a lot for me, which I'm excited about.
That's the one thing I also read, like in the mail you sent out, that there's also the idea like to have festivals maybe, or like Beats in Space club nights and stuff like that. Because the radio show for me always was a community thing. Like
Yeah,
you did host a community in a way. You were doing this for free for the whole community, and I was always amazed
right.
at how much energy you did it. So it's nice to see that now your community can also pop up in the specific communities around the world.
Yeah, no, that, yeah, I don't want to lose that community, and I know it is different now, but it is on my mind. So it's how can I just keep that going, and I obviously I don't think it's going to happen right away, but with doing parties everywhere, but it's something that I definitely want to focus on in the future, and we'll get there.
Yeah. I mean, why should you lose the community? It was kind of amazing how much energy and heart you put in that long run, and nobody blames you for doing it now a little bit with a more professional setup, in the sense that you also have benefits from that.
Yeah, no, and it's fun. Like, having a little change is good. Like, this is like, after 21 years, it is time to, like, okay, let's see what else. How can we make it grow? How can we, like, what can we do to, like, just keep things fresh too? Like, for me, like, um, like, I think after a while, well, one, I was getting the feeling at WNYU that, like, I wasn't maybe as the administration wasn't as happy with me being there and for that long, as I was happy being there. Like, hey, you don't know what you've got, and they're like, well, we don't really care what we've got, like that's kind of like the conversation happening. And so there's a part of me that's okay, well, I need to go somewhere where I'm gonna be appreciated, and I can kind of take things to another level. And I need that challenge, otherwise you kind of like I stay in the basement, the basement of the dormitory, and I just get older and older and maybe look creepier or something showing up there, so so it's good. And it's kind of nice too, because I'm just right around the corner. This studio is right in Union Square, so I'm like right around the corner from where I was, and still has the New York City atmosphere going here. I don't know. I'm excited. It's a challenge, and it's exciting to kind of like take that challenge and see what I can do.
It's a little bit like moving out. Finally, the parents were knocking on the door for a long time. You are a long-time student here. You should. So I like the idea that you're just a few blocks away. So there's still, you feel the same.
Well, I don't know if you remember, but like 2 years ago, they wanted to like cut my show time at the station, and that kind of I think when that happened, I knew my time there at the station was kind of coming to an end. Like that, I knew I needed to find another home, because when I found out the administration at NYU was not, didn't think of me as that useful, then yeah, I needed to like figure out what my next steps were going to be, because yeah, I couldn't just be like left with nothing.
But I mean, how less did they know? If they would have known what's coming up and the whole pandemic and our need to cultivate like a community and speak to people, your show is pretty much like an essential part of what helped a lot of people during these times too, because a lot of people were suddenly isolated, and a show like yours is about the communication in a scene, which is often, it's loud in nightclubs and people think it's just about like going out and getting hammered or something, but that's not the case. It's about us and cultivating culture together, and so it's really important.
Exactly.
It keeps going. I was very, very happy when I heard so, because of course with all that bad news 2 years ago, like he's not losing energy, because I think you are a central part what made electronic dance music and cultivated biotope, like a place where I want to be.
Yeah, no, I still, I'm always curious about new music. I'm always searching, and I think for me, like I still want to like just be creating something fun to listen to each week. I want to find the DJs out there who are going to be pushing boundaries, and I want to present them still. Like that same philosophy stays with me, and I'm excited to keep that going. Like being off the air for 6 months, it was a weird experience, because look, I haven't done that, and so like I've never stopped for 21 years. It's like always doing it, and so that was a really weird experience, and not like, I can't say it was like it. No, it was enjoyable because I had a baby, so like that was amazing. And yeah, she's Layla is amazing. That's what I'm super happy about. But like I mean, that was a big change having the baby, but then it was kind of like, yeah, the radio show, which is my, other baby, I guess, like stopping with that it was a weird feeling. And it was, like every week kind of like, I don't know, it's like, something missing every week. And I like having the schedule of the weekly radio show to kind of, keep me focused on like what's coming out each week. When I have that, I'm like, okay, I need to go to the record store. I need to go ask friends, what are you listening to? Like, I need to check all the promos, like I need, like it, like that keeps me searching, and like that. Yeah, I like that rhythm. Especially because without the because of the pandemic, then we weren't doing any shows anywhere, like in terms of DJ in a club or anything like that. So you didn't have that searching for music that way, but I still wanted to be searching. And so, it felt funny stopping for 6 months. That's why I was just like, okay, I started updating like a weekly playlist, because I was just like, okay, this is what I would be DJing right now,
Yeah, I mean, the new setup is also more healthy for you, because I remember you always flew back after gigs to be in the studio back, and I always found it so crazy, but so dedicated, of course. So now with the more studios popping up and possibilities, you maybe can stay 2 weekends in Europe, and we can have a coffee the day after your gig, and not just like, oh, I have to run to the airport again. So that's
exactly. That's I think it's a much healthier environment. And I think also, like, maybe I don't have to now stress as much for the DJ gigs now, because I can just take those ones that I really, really want to do, and then besides that, I can really focus on the radio,
which is a nice thing, as you mentioned, your family too, because that is like giving a stability in New York City, which is nice too. But
definitely.
I saw you playing the fundraiser for Good Room on Saturday and supporting the local scene there.
Yes. Yeah.
People maybe think like clubs are reopened, so everything is back to good, but no, our culture is fighting to make it with the effects still. So
yeah, of course. Like, and Good Room is one that they did the New York, I don't know if that was I think that was New York State gave money. I think it's called Save Our Scene, or I think that was the initiative, but they gave money to a bunch of different venues and clubs and things, but Good Room, for whatever reason, didn't get anything. So, they've been without money for a long time now. And, it is like, for me, Good Room is a spot that I've loved playing, because it just is a classic looking New York club, like, big dance floor, wood dance floor, a big, nice sound system. And it's just like, to me, reminds me of like when I first came to New York, like some of the clubs that I went to. It is just like one of those like classic looking spots. So I really, hope we don't lose that. And, because it was like New York, I felt like in terms of clubs, has been getting more and more, before the pandemic was, kept opening new ones. And it really did feel like things were getting better and better here. And then, now I don't know what will happen.
Yeah, it's crazy they didn't get the funding, because they are such an important club in the worldwide roster, and they are doing the same. Coming back to your show too, it's about international communication. That was why I was always so hooked on to electronic music. You have contacts with people from all over the world, and looking at the roster of a club, it's like that. And your show, you have people like playing there from Japan, over South America, Germany, and they all like that's changed. So maybe this is a good thing to lead to your long list. You're starting with Planning to Rock. Maybe you can say something what made you kick off with with that show, and what's coming up in the next weeks? Like did you have like the long list you did for the last 6 months? Like when I'm going back, I'm gonna do this, and this.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have made a lot of lists, and I've been, like, it's I think the booking process, at the start of a show is not easy. Like, just because even though Beats of Space has a history, people don't, a long history, but people don't know what it's going to be like now. And so I think there are a lot of people who maybe are like, okay, let me wait and see how this looks before I'm gonna say yes. So that's what my feeling is right now. But I think I had artists that I had asked on to the radio show before it stopped, that it was like I really want to have you on the show, and like, can we do this? And they kind of wrote back, oh, can't do it now, but maybe in months from now. And Planning to Rock was one of those artists where I had been in touch with their manager for a long time. I think that Planning to Rock is one I think I've been talking to for years to try and make happen. And so then for me it was like, okay, I'm back. Like, this is going to be a big thing, the first radio show, will you do this? And so they're like, yes. And then obviously, Gay Dreams Do Come True, their EP, is out at the same time. So it kind of worked perfectly. And I was super happy to have Jam on the show. Obviously we have a history with DFA Records, because Jam from Planning to Rock was on DFA. And so we never toured together or actually met each other, but I had emailed to them and their manager just to like say hello, and just enjoyed their music. So that was really fun for the first show. And then the second show, I have Anthony Naples, who's New York, Brooklyn regular, who's got he just has a new EP out today. It's called the Plez Club Pez, I think is the name of it. But he also had the Chameleon LP that came out like last month. So he's been putting out a lot of stuff right now. And so that was a fun one, just to like time around his EP coming out. And and it was nice because I've had him on the show a few times, so he could like deal with any problems I was having, like get it. There's just like it's gonna take time for me to like get comfortable in the studio, get comfortable on how interviewing people here, get comfortable on like taking Polaroids here, and I still haven't stopped those, but it's just like I'm figuring out my way. And we're doing like something a little different in that, like with the mixes for the radio show, I'm doing like a kind of a separate interview with the artist that is its own separate piece. And then there's the two DJ mixes, a mix from me and a mix from the guest. And so, before I would kind of put the interview like over top, I guess, the guest mix. And now it's kind of like its own little piece, which is fun and like causes me to think more about the interview. And it needs to be, because yeah, it needs to be like a little bit something that um, I need to get people to tune into it, you know, like to click that they want to listen to it, and so I need to have more in those interviews than just like, you know, before it was kind of like your touring schedule and your record release, you know, and like what's going on with that. And because also we were, you know, doing this interview before it was like live, and you know, I didn't want anyone to like stress out too much on thinking about their answers, because then, you know, you have like a bunch of dead air or something like that. And so, but now there's more time to like actually talk to someone and get an answer that you know, can have more of a story, I guess, is what I would say. So that's kind of what I'm now focusing on and trying to do with guests, which, you know, I feel like will take time to develop as well for me.
Yeah, but it's also, I think it kind of makes sense because we all feel like it's a time where communication, the exchange is a big part. And I think this, like having a blog within especially as Beats in Space, as I said before, for me is very much about communication, even though it's mostly music, it is that. So I don't think like this talk's gonna come quite easy.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Because
yeah, no, yeah, it's fun. It's you know, I think it's a challenge for me to like, you know, that's, you know, one of those things where it's like, okay, I want to step up and do better. And you know, I mean, you know, from interviewing people yourself about like, you know, it is this exchange, asking the right question that provokes an answer that's just more than a yes or a no, and that gives you like more of an understanding about the person, or more of an understanding about, you know, what they're talking about, or, you know, just like, yeah, it's a whole other art form, you know.
yeah.
And yeah, but you know, obviously like my whole thing has been kind of just a friendly rapport with people, and I'm not going to change that. I'm not going to like start arguing and fighting with you know, I guess. But you know, it's just trying to like improve, really.
I mean, you also just invite people whose music you love, so it's not like you're inviting somebody who you're super critical, and then you're like, I gonna challenge you like that.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Or something.
Yeah, that's 100% true. It's like, yeah, I am inviting people on that I love their music, and I just, you know, I want to support their music, and you know, I want to see them grow, and I want more people to listen to their music. And so, but it is also trying to like find out a story within that. Just, you know, there's so much stuff we don't know about people that, you know, like that they don't necessarily they aren't sharing because, not that they want to keep it secret, but it's just like, you know, no one asks that question or something, you know. And I think there are just fun things that we can potentially know about the people coming on the show that, you know, that I would like to try and to explore more, you know. And that is like also like a, you know, I would say a community thing as well. It's just kind of like, yeah, these are these people in our community, and you know, like there is more to someone than I don't know, than than this DJ set, or this, you know, like there is like more going on here.
Absolutely. I was always interested in where people come from, which community, how they got socialized and stuff. And I think as you are a producer, a DJ, and like a label runner and radio host, so you're part of the whole community. So you can also question them in a different way than the outsider journalist would in that sense. I teach also at universities these days, and I always bring up like your show, for example, like how like artists, they always ask me like how can I make a career in this? And I'm like, well, first step is don't think maybe too much about making the career, just make things you're interested in, build up something. And you're a good example. You hosted for 21 years a radio show without making money from that, but it was part of your artistic profile. It led to DJing, it led to starting a label, Beats in Space. So it's about like the whole picture is much more complex. And I think big thing is like going with your heart and do things you're dedicated with, and then the other fields come along. So yeah.
I agree. And I think, I mean, it is about, you need to, it can't just come to you like that, yes, some artists have a hit for their first record, or, say, for example, DFA records, first two records are the Rapture and LCD Sound System and it's hits, but that doesn't happen for everyone. That is a very rare circumstance. And they also say with DFA, Tim and James have a long history before DFA records, so they're working like Tim, say, at Mowax, working with Uncle, kind of there's a lot more happening before this record label starts. And I think, yeah, say with my radio show, it's kind of, you're building something. So you just have to keep at it, and you have to do something, you have to love it, and you have to put the work into what you're doing to build something special. Like it has to stand out somehow. So, you can't just copy what everyone else is doing, and you have to put your mark on it. And that just takes time also to find, I guess, your mark, and takes time to see how much you want to put in it. I think with me, say when I started the radio show, one of the things, I guess I've always been one trying to find, I do the radio show, but I've always been trying to see what ways I can push it to more people, even though it's like a niche radio show. How can I get more people to listen to this? Because I think this music's awesome. I love this stuff. I think more people should hear it. How can I do that? When I started, it was email lists. You would write to these email lists. Hey, I'm doing this radio show. Here's the playlist. You can listen this week. A rave list and things. That's what it was at the start. And when I think as the years go by, it's just always trying to find, okay, those email lists kind of went away, but then, people post on, there's message boards, and then, then it's social media, which is this whole other thing that, has taken off. But it's how can you do something special and then, get more people tuning in. And yeah, for me now, it's before it was me doing everything. And now, I'm at Apple Music, and now there's a team of people to help me with that, and that's been fun. That it's I feel a lot of pressure on my shoulders still, but there is there's help. And that's what's great, that, I can help to push the show to more people, and that they're even just open to having something as kind of specific as what I'm doing, on Apple Music.
Yeah, it's good to have a team. That's an important thing. But the other thing you just said, and you keep doing it because the show is still live, so everybody can listen it for once free, and then it goes into the system where you need an Apple.
Exactly.
So I think that's a great gesture too. It's like inviting people and stick with me here. Yeah. And keep
Exactly,
the radio
exactly.
spirit live of the live moment, which is
Yeah, yeah, and I think that is really important to that people know that, and um, yeah, that is one of the things that got me excited about that. Still, anyone can listen, but yes, after that live broadcast, then yes, you have to sign up, but like I also look that they're paying out for the streams and they're paying for like the DJ. Like it's cool also, like this steps that they're taking is a good thing.
honestly, you deserve that this is also getting on a professional level after all these years doing that. Thanks so much for talking to me about the Beats in Space show. And I'm
Thank you, Thomas.
I'm so excited it goes on
Really
for another
cool.
21 years, man.
Yeah, man. I hope so. Well, so when are you gonna come to New York again?
Yeah, I hope so. Actually, I'm right now in Los Angeles because my girlfriend got a residency here at the Villa Aurora. And
Oh, nice.
so I chill a little bit of LA
I
time.
was
It's really
I was
nice.
just there. I just got back last night.
Oh no! Oh God, we missed
Yeah.
again. Like I remember the last time we missed in Budapest when I found out you DJ'd right under the bridge I was
Yeah.
walking that night. So yeah.
Ah. Well, yeah. No, that was like I didn't really have any free time. But the one thing that was really funny though is um, I had like a little bit of free time on Tuesday, and I was like, okay, it was like four. It was like about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I was like, okay, I can either go, back to the hotel and listen to more music to figure out my next mix, or like I can. This is like my only time to like see something LA. So like, do I go out and try and get like inspired, And so I was like, okay, I have to go, see something from LA. So I drove over to Venice Beach, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go, see the beach. So I like, I walked on the pier on the Venice Pier, and then I'm walking on the sidewalk, just off a pier, and I see this guy on the phone, and like in this jacket and long hair, kind of gray hair, and I'm like, that looks like DJ Harvey. And then I go walk over, and then there's DJ Harvey on the phone, and I'm like, Harvey, what? And then he's like, yeah. He's like, I'm on the call with Thomas Bullock. He's in town too. He's just driving down on his bike. So I like, I go get a coffee with Harvey, and then like an hour later, Thomas Bullock shows up, and then they're just like talking all these stories about DJing in England years ago, and it was so funny. It was just like it was a random experience that in LA, where I think that kind of thing. I feel like that kind of thing doesn't happen as much, that you run into people randomly like you would in New York, because it's a lot closer in New York, But
Still a small town.
still, yeah. So it was so funny. It was just like, in LA, and then the one person I run into, the king of Venice, DJ Harvey. So it's funny.
It's also great we're having these moments again. I really that's what I appreciate being here right now. Like after 18 months of like meeting all those friends and people, not enough. Now finally you
Yeah,
have these moments, and especially the unplanned. I was so much looking forward to have unscheduled, like just like running into somebody and having a chat,
yeah.
having a coffee and stuff like that. If that's
It's
so
crazy.
big to
It is like such a big difference, and like your day feels so different when you run, like you're not in these like meetings that on the computer that are set and scheduled. Like you just like run into people, and then you like chat for hours or whatever. You weren't expecting that, and it feels good to have that back, like I miss that from like the record store. Going to the record store, that would always happen to me. Like, you go record shopping like at A1, and you end up there for hours because people come by and you start talking about music and you start talking about this and that, and then time passes, and that is a good thing. It's definitely missed.
Yeah. Let's
Anyways,
do that and hope we run into each other.
I do,
Or not
please.
scheduled soon enough, and
yes,
I tune in next
definitely.
week, and
Okay,
have a
cool.
nice weekend. Are you playing this weekend? Except of the good room,
the good room, the good room gig, and that's my first like club DJ gig back. So I've kind of like stayed away from clubs until now. So it's like I'm nervous for sure. Like I did one boat party like a month or two ago, but that was outside, and now this is my first like indoor club thing, and I'm excited, like, and especially because it's a good thing for good room, but it'll be a fun weekend.
Give Josh a hug for me and enjoy the weekend.
I will. Good to talk to you.
Take care. Bye.
Okay, bye.